What if I told you there are parts of America where you can escape winter, avoid state income tax, keep your Social Security, and wake up to warm ocean air without needing a passport, a new currency, or giving up your life as an American? These places are not foreign countries. They are U.S. territories, where the American flag still flies, the dollar still works, and your retirement benefits can continue while life moves at a much slower pace. But here is the part most people miss. These islands are not just postcard beaches and palm trees. Some offer real tax advantages, strong community life, and a peaceful rhythm that many retirees on the mainland are desperately searching for. Others come with serious trade-offs: higher grocery prices, weaker infrastructure, long flights, limited healthcare, and the kind of patience you only learn when the power goes out and nobody seems surprised. So before you pack your bags and start dreaming about ocean views, we are going to look at 5 forgotten American territories where life can feel freer, warmer, and in some cases more affordable, if you know exactly what you are getting into. Let's make our first stop in the warm waters of the Caribbean, the U.S. Virgin Islands. For many looking to escape the harsh mainland winters, this is a highly appealing destination because the transition is remarkably gentle. You still use the U.S. Postal Service, you pay with the U.S. dollar, and your current cell phone plan will likely work perfectly when looking at where to settle. You generally have 3 main choices, each with a very different character. St. Thomas is the most developed. It offers the most modern conveniences, comprehensive medical facilities, and large grocery stores. However, it can get quite busy and noisy when the large cruise ships dock. St. John is primarily a protected national park, absolutely pristine and perfect for quiet nature walks, but perhaps a bit too isolated for those who need regular, easy access to amenities. Then there is St. Croix, the largest of the 3. With its rich history, beautiful colonial architecture, and a much more relaxed pace, it often appeals most to those looking to settle down quietly and comfortably. But a tropical paradise does come with compromises, and practicality is key when you are on a fixed income, because nearly everything is shipped in by boat. You will quickly notice that your grocery bills, household goods, and gas prices are noticeably higher than back home. Furthermore, the infrastructure will ask for your patience. Occasional power outages are simply a fact of life here. For retirees, investing in a home backup generator isn't a luxury. It is a standard part of household planning. You must also adjust to island time. The rigid punctuality of the mainland does not exist here. A repairman might show up hours late, or perhaps the next day. If you demand strict schedules, this will frustrate you. But if you are ready to take off your wristwatch and breathe, it can be wonderfully healing. The greatest financial benefit, however, is the tax structure. There is absolutely no state income tax, while you still fulfill your federal tax obligations, keeping your state tax. Money in your own pocket can significantly help offset those higher grocery costs. The U.S. Virgin Islands offer a beautiful life without snow shovels and heavy coats. You simply need to be prepared for the humidity, a few mosquitoes, and a lifestyle that demands a little patience and a good sense of humor. Let us now travel far across the Pacific to our next destination, the island of Guam. For many retirees, particularly our military veterans, Guam feels like a welcoming, familiar friend wrapped in a tropical breeze. Geographically, Guam is located halfway between Hawaii and the Philippines. You will quite literally be living a day ahead of your family on the mainland. It is important to be realistic here. If spending every Sunday afternoon with your grandchildren is a priority, the long and expensive flights back to the States might make Guam a difficult choice. However, if you are seeking a peaceful sanctuary, far removed from the noise of mainland politics and crowded interstates, that distance becomes a true blessing. Despite being on the other side of the world, Guam is distinctly American. You do not need a passport to move here. Your Social Security checks will arrive right on time. Medicare is accepted, and you can still rely on the U.S. Postal Service to deliver your medications and even your favorite bulk items. Furthermore, the strong U.S. military presence provides a comforting sense of security, well-maintained roads, and a community that deeply honors and supports its veterans. The local culture is a beautiful blend of native Chamorro heritage and American comforts. One of the most endearing qualities of Guam is the profound traditional respect the local people hold for their elders. value that sadly feels fading in many modern cities. Naturally, there are practical considerations. The climate is intensely tropical. While the year-round warmth can do wonders for aching joints and arthritis, the humidity is heavy, and you must be mentally and practically prepared for the occasional typhoon. Additionally, because goods are shipped across an ocean, the grocery store shelves might occasionally be empty of your specific brand of coffee or cereal. Like the Virgin Islands, Guam has no state income tax, leaving more of your fixed income in your pocket. It is a place that asks you to be flexible, to appreciate what you have, and to find joy in a quiet afternoon watching a spectacular Pacific sunset. Let us bring our journey back a bit closer to the mainland, just a short flight from the coast of Florida to the vibrant and historic island of Puerto Rico. For retirees who wish to experience the charm of a foreign culture without actually leaving the United States, Puerto Rico offers a truly unique balance. Here, you do not need a passport and you still use the US dollar. Your Social Security benefits remain entirely secure and your Medicare coverage is accepted at local hospitals and clinics. Moving here feels like stepping into a beautiful, centuries-old Spanish colonial town. Yet, with the reassuring presence of familiar American pharmacies and grocery stores just down the street, while Spanish is the primary language, English is widely spoken. Taking the time to learn a few polite Spanish phrases is not just helpful. It is a wonderful way to keep the mind sharp and show respect to your welcoming new neighbors. The true wealth of Puerto Rico lies in its people. There is a deep-rooted, genuine sense of community here. Neighbors look out for one another, share meals, and truly care about your well-being. If you fear the isolation that sometimes accompanies retirement in a sprawling mainland city, the warmth of the Puerto Rican people will quickly make you feel like family. However, practical planning is essential. The island's infrastructure can be unpredictable. The power grid is known to be fragile, especially during hurricane season. So installing a reliable home generator is a necessity, not a luxury. The local bureaucracy operates at its own pace, requiring a gentle patience that our working years rarely allowed us to practice. The roads, too, may test your vehicle's suspension more than you are used to. Financially, Puerto Rico is highly attractive. There is no state income tax, and under specific tax laws, residents can be exempt from federal income taxes on money generated on the island, while the everyday cost of living is not as low as it once was. Your retirement funds can still provide a very comfortable, culturally rich lifestyle. If you desire historic cobblestone streets, warm ocean breezes, and a community that celebrates life every single day, Puerto Rico might just be your perfect sunset destination. Let us journey even further now, crossing the equator to a place that truly feels like stepping back into a simpler, more graceful era: American Samoa. For the retiree who seeks absolute tranquility and a complete separation from the endless noise of the modern world, this remote archipelago offers an experience unlike anywhere else on Earth. Legally, the situation here is slightly different. People born here are U.S. nationals, not full citizens, meaning while they can live and work anywhere in the U.S., voting in federal elections requires a separate citizenship process. However, for a retiree looking to settle, your rights to live here peacefully remain intact, and the heavy hand of the IRS is replaced by a local tax system. The most profoundly beautiful aspect of American Samoa is not just its majestic, emerald green mountains or its crystal clear waters. It is the culture. Here, the traditional way of life, often called Fa Samoa, places family, faith, and community above all else. More importantly, for those in their golden years, the respect shown to elders is absolute and woven into the very fabric of daily life. It is a place where your age and wisdom are deeply honored, a heartwarming contrast to a modern society that often seems obsessed only with youth and speed. However, we must speak practically. This extreme peace requires significant sacrifices. You are living in the middle of the South Pacific. The distance to the mainland is vast, making flights back to visit children and grandchildren a long and exhausting undertaking. Modern conveniences like overnight shipping or high-speed internet are virtually non-existent. Most critically, for retirees, the healthcare infrastructure is very basic. If you have complex medical conditions or require specialized care, the isolation of American Samoa could pose a genuine risk to your well-being. But if you are in good health, cherish simplicity. and wish to spend your twilight years in a close-knit community that measures time by the tides rather than the clock. American Samoa offers a profound, untouched peace. Let us turn now to our final hidden sanctuary, a place so quiet and beautifully preserved that it feels like a well-kept secret. The Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, or the CNMI, if you are seeking a retirement destination that offers pristine natural beauty without the overwhelming crowds of typical tourist hotspots. This collection of islands, most notably Saipan and Rota, might be exactly what you are looking for. As with our other destinations, you are still on U.S. soil. There is no need for a passport. Your Social Security and Medicare benefits remain intact, and you spend the familiar U.S. dollar. But what you gain here is a profound sense of safety and serenity. The CNMI boasts one of the lowest crime rates in the entire United States. It is a place where communities are tightly knit, neighbors know one another, and the daily anxieties of urban living simply melt away into the gentle Pacific breeze. There are no massive traffic jams, and no rigid neighborhood associations dictating how you should live. The landscape is nothing short of spectacular. Imagine spending your mornings taking quiet walks along historic coral reefs or pristine beaches, surrounded by a rich, respectful blend of Chamorro, Carolinian, and American cultures. Of course, this serene isolation means you must be willing to embrace a much simpler way of living. High-speed internet can be unreliable, and goods shipped from the mainland take their sweet time arriving. Furthermore, as with many remote locations, specialized or emergency medical care may require a flight to a larger, better-equipped hospital off-island. Financially, your federal taxes are paid to the local CNMI government rather than the IRS, which often comes with its own set of advantages for retirees. If your health is relatively stable and you are ready to trade the constant rush and digital noise of modern life for slow, peaceful days and breathtaking ocean views, the Northern Mariana Islands offer a truly majestic, worry-free retreat. And so, we have reached the end of our journey across America's hidden tropical shores. Making the decision of where to spend your retirement is never easy. It requires carefully balancing the desire for peace, warmth, and financial freedom with the practical realities of healthcare, distance from family, and everyday conveniences. These 5 territories offer a beautiful, slower pace of life, but they do ask for flexibility and a patient spirit in return. If moving across an ocean feels a little too far from home, please do not worry. In our next video, we will explore 5 states right here on the mainland that offer incredibly affordable, peaceful rural living. These are quiet places where you can tend to a garden, enjoy the stillness of nature, and stretch your retirement savings further. Without ever leaving the continent, please click the video on your screen to join me there. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. May your golden years be filled with good health, deep peace, and the freedom you so richly deserve.